Continue tonight with our special series on drug and alcohol recovery, where those who have fought to get help are determined to stay sober. We heard from Dusty Rose back in December, who spoke about staying sober in a pandemic and through the holidays. She is staying on the road to recovery, and her faith plays an important part of it.
The whole premise behind doing those in December was acknowledging how hard it is, but also to inspire other people to make that step to get into recovery.
Absolutely.
And you think, and you know that happened, right?
Yeah, I do. I know that one friend went into recovery shortly after that, and another girl is working towards it. So even if I can help one person.
How does that make you feel? That is amazing.
It makes me feel very, very good. I think that's the only thing that I really want in recovery is to help others, you know. Well, myself first.
And stay sober yourself.
Yeah.
People who may not have seen our interview in December, kind of give me your background and your struggle and where things are at today.
Well, you know, I had a really kind of rough past life, heavy use, and kind of a traumatic upbringing, but I made poor decisions, but I don't know. I just don't really want to discuss it. I really want to discuss what's happened to me since then.
So you do not stay the victim. Some
no,
people
I'm
do.
done with it. No, I'm so done with that. God's really helped me and helps me every single day. I have a very supportive family. My children, Abby and Chandler, phenomenal. Like me, love me. My sponsor. This recovery program is really phenomenal in Rochester.
A lot of people who struggle with addiction struggle with the fact that they've lost their family because of it, thinking that they can never regain love and forgiveness from family members. That is a lie.
It is a lie. And you know, I just had a client come in the other day that was in recovery for 18 years. And he explained to me that after 13 years, his daughter reached out to him for the very first time, and that he had waited that entire 18 years to hear from her. So it is possible. You know, they just have to have faith and hope.
Not everybody has support from family. That's why this is so very important. This on top of family support is
phenomenal.
Yes, but not everybody has that.
And you don't absolutely have to have that, I don't believe. I mean, if you have strong faith, I think you can get through anything.
How did that help you?
It still helps me every day. It helped me this morning upon awakening. You know, I have still a lot of issues. I've lost a lot of friends in recovery because of the epidemic, and I have watched people go back out and use, and because of my faith, I just, every morning I wake up, I pray, I meditate, sometimes 1,000 times a day.
Why 1,000
and it keeps
times
me going.
a day?
Some days are harder than others, you know. I still have hard days where I would probably like to choose a substance, you know, but I choose not to. I use my faith, I use recovery, connection.
We're talking some about Rob, not a lot on what necessarily happened, but how he impacted people and the legacy he leaves.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of positive that comes out of something so awful.
Absolutely. He was such a good guy, and like I had said, Rob is the type of guy that you didn't need a timeline with. You could know him for 10 years or 10 minutes, and you would learn something from him and value what he had to say. He brought out deep conversations within me that I didn't always want to talk about. And he ran the alumni group here, and a lot of days I would come in frumpy and he'd be like, let's talk about it. And I would just be like, no, and he'd be like, come on. And, you know, he leaves such a warm spot in my heart and a place for a lot of people, I believe.
Do people come to you and seek out guidance, wisdom, help when they're struggling?
They do. You know, I'm so busy right now with 2 jobs and my family that I don't give back nearly as much as I would like. When I do go to meetings, I went to one last night and I gave some input, and some people did come up to me after the meeting and just say, hey, I really like what you had to say. And I've been asked to be a sponsor a few times, but I want to wait till I'm done doing all my step work with my sponsor. So
when you have those hard days and things seem overwhelming, because no matter where we are in life, we all have those days. For people who have addiction issues, they turn to that. I want you to help that person. If I were the person really struggling and I've never sought help, what is it that I need to do? I know admitting and reaching out, but it's not so easy.
It's not always easy, and the last thing we want to do is reach out when we're hurting, because we want to isolate and we want to hide. And a lot of times there's so much shame associated with using and what we're stuck in, but I just want you to know that there is a way out and there is help. And I have to say pray, even if it's not to the God of the Bible or just something bigger than yourself, something outside of yourself, you know.
All the time.
I used to use the universe, the meetings, whatever. I just used to yell out to the universe because I didn't understand, you know.
You were heard.
I was heard, and I am heard right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a blessing. It's so good to see you again, too.
Well, thank you.